If I step out, guys, before the show,
I guess somebody has to go shovel their driveway, and they'll be right back. Everyone, welcome to FALH Radio. I'm Mac Dubs.
And I am AJ. Mac can go fuck himself tonight. I am having a really rough week, ladies and gentlemen. I deeply apologize. Apparently, I forgot how to work the fucking equipment when it comes to our station. I'm going to sit back for a minute, and I'm just going to let you guys talk for a little bit, and I will chime in, and I'm going to enjoy myself a nice Red Bull or maybe 6, and try to relax because, yeah. Anyways, how's everybody doing tonight?
All right.
I'm doing really excellent.
So no, that actually the comment was supposed to go into the private chat, because Mac always takes extravagantly long, and took so long tonight. A blizzard hit, so that's what I meant by that. But it was supposed to go in the private chat, and it didn't. It went into the fucking comments, and I can't work worth a shit tonight.
No matter what it is, it's good. That's the way it is. Because the way it occurs right in the present moment, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Oh. Hitting with knowledge early, and yeah, I mean, not even 5 minutes in, and he's hitting us with some good stuff already.
Well, that's what he's here for, you know.
Indeed,
you got to rise out of that perfection programming.
Yeah,
because the world is a mess, and you might as well be a mess with it, because it just works better. It just flows better.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful disaster.
It is. And whoever thinks it ain't, lying to themselves. People that think they're perfect live in a world of turmoil.
Oh.
People, I am imperfection. I don't know, how's that go? I'm liberated. I am athletically imperfect. And liberated imperfection.
Robert, I got something for you. We're talking about perfection, and none of us are perfect. So I want to get your thoughts on this. All right, I'm going to try to test you a bit. None of us are perfect. However, what is your views on somebody who says they are perfect? Because, and here's where I had a friend of mine say, "But I am perfect." And I said, "Yeah, how?" Says, well, we're created in God's image. And if we're created in God's image and God is perfect, doesn't that make us perfect?
Here's the thing about anybody that says they're perfect, they're lying. They're flat out lying. God wasn't perfect.
Oh, how so?
Well, look at what everything went on. See, perfect is a fiction of your imagination. God was somebody that knew how to rise the world out of challenges.
I I almost regret even bringing up this topic for the simple fact that I can't.
Now I'm going to give you something here. See, we're so trained to follow what everybody says,
Right.
and the Bible is just a guide. There's no absolutes in anything. Absolutes pollute. Imperfection enters the intuition.
It's almost like Star Wars. You know, there's a quote in Star Wars where I think it's the Jedi say only the Sith deals with absolutes or in absolutes or something like that.
Yeah, and there is zero, and somebody thinks they're perfect. They're never going to rise from where they're at in life.
Huh.
You look at somebody that tells you they're perfect today. Go back and look at their life 5 years ago. What's different?
I mean, yeah.
Besides age.
Well, I mean, a lot can change. I mean, a lot can
Look,
change.
But what is really different?
Look, I have one for you. You can be perfect now, you can be perfect tomorrow, but you're not going to have a perfect lifestyle.
And that's the thing. Perfection is a lie, but imperfection is bliss, because it allows you to go into the world to maneuver through the world or be flexible, but it allows you to maneuver through the world without being caught up in, oh my God. Because most of the stuff out there that's perfect, look at all the people think they're perfect to run in the world. How are they doing?
Yeah.
Perfection is a programming.
Do we want to talk about how the world is being ran right now? More specifically, our country. I mean, we can talk about it if you guys want to.
I mean, I'm
but
down for anything at this point.
Well, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, people that think they're perfect, their life lessons are a lot harsher, because they got to break that perfection programming. Life is a mystery mess with rambling riddles to feed you our stuck in yesterday bullshit. The world is stuck in yesterday. Yeah. And, I've been writing a lot about what's going on, but the world is stuck in third world enslaving mindsets.
And with the upcoming event, I feel like if that one person becomes leader, it'll be
Mexico is going to finish building the wall to keep us in.
Yeah, facts.
They're
going to keep all the tacos for themselves.
If I had the means for it, I would love to. I would, if the election does not go the way that it should to save the world, more specifically, I would leave this country. I would pack up all of my shit.
I'd become a Canadian.
I'd be going over to the UK, and that's just because I'm over half British, half English, and it's just I don't know. I don't know, but then again, at the same time,
I'd go to Tanzania.
Where?
Beautiful ocean.
Oh, Robert, you're giving me a headache right here. Just
Tanzania.
I looked at sometimes just look at the ocean by Tanzania.
Let's ask Siri where that is. Hold on.
It's in Africa.
Siri, where's Tanzania?
West coast of Africa.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Oh, you know what? I don't got time for you, buddy. Never mind.
But I mean, there's a lot of nice places in the world. We just were never showed them.
Have you been there?
No. I don't care. I'm ready to go. Anywhere in South America, it doesn't matter. But they're going to be them guys coming this way in the south border, and we'll be going that way.
True.
But if
True.
we weren't, but we're showed these beautiful places now.
Of course, they're not that way.
I mean, I've seen a lot of beautiful places in magazines and things like that. Of course, I don't have the paper to go visit these places. We can chalk that up to a certain kind of economics that has been renamed something else. Go inflation, yay!
I like that. But something you got to be open up to observe you don't want to know the world, you want to observe the world.
World's a mystery.
I'm gonna tell you that I learned a lot when we went out of the country about the different places that we've gone, and I learned that Nassau is mostly owned by China and the UK.
You know what, the Nassau Coliseum?
No, I'm talking about Nassau, Bahamas.
NASA.
No, not Nassau. 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 Nassau, Bahamas. The Bahamian people.
Yeah.
The Haitians.
No,
they're Bahamian.
What's the difference?
Haitian is people from Haiti.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. A funny story. This is some of the topics where I have to just kind of keep my mouth shut. I'm still learning this, folks. So down the street at gas station, they have Chinese family owned. I go in there one day, and I know the guy, great guy. I go in there and he's watching this movie, and I look. So hey, wow, you watching the movies? Yeah, I said, what are you watching? And he rambles off in there. I said, I said, you watching it in Chinese? I seen the little subtitles. He says, no, it's Korean. I said, aren't they the same thing? And the look that I got from him.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I am surprised I didn't die that day. Here, I guess come to find out that you're not supposed to say those types of things because Koreans and Chinese have yeah,
they've been fighting for years.
Yeah, well, how I don't know these things. I'm not around society enough to really know the difference. And they all, look, ladies and gentlemen, I am, and this goes to everybody. I am not racist by any means. And I'm going to try to say this as delicately as I can. I don't know the difference. They all look the same to me. And I don't really know how to word it other than that. I would expect for anybody of a different race to say that about.
It's funny because I was playing basketball with somebody, and they were like, "So Mac, who are you gonna guard?" I'm like, "I get the white guy over here." And he's
That's just natural language.
And he's just like, he's like, I'm not white, and I'm like, my bad. What are you? It's like, I'm Italian. I'm like, you're white.
Yeah. But you want to, if you really pay attention to what's going to happen in the election, we got the same people running this year as we had 4 years ago. Look how we've moved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's like, I get, your whatever your nationality is. I mean, you can be Italian, you can be Italian, you can be black, or you could be Spanish and your skin tone is white. I know there's a lot of Caucasian Africans that live in South America.
Africans.
So I mean,
Yeah, but something about race and racism, they
Mhm.
taught us that to keep us separated.
yeah, because nobody wants to see no, because nobody wants to see unity.
Yeah. And something else, if you listen to the national sports shows,
I apologize. I'm so sorry. I gotta go take my dog out. But go on,
you
guys.
listen to them, there is more racism on the national sports shows than anything in the world.
Oh yeah, and what's his name? Stephen A. Smith, man, he's the biggest joke of all, man. He'll sit there, and he'll praise every every basketball player. But he was talking about oh my gosh, plays for the Mavericks.
Donnie, sure,
Uh, oh my gosh, what's his name?
I can tell you,
Oh my gosh,
it's it's
Luca.
DUNOC. Luca, yeah.
Yeah, Luca. Yeah, Luca Doncic. Yeah. So yeah, he was like, that guy just needs to sit down. He's not going to win a championship. Blah blah blah. It's too powered by brothers. I'm like, come on, dude.
Well, if they get him the right people around him, he'll win one. See, it's like football. Everybody's got the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, again.
They got 16 more games to play. Let's see who's standing at the end of the 18th week.
Yeah. I'm a Jets fan, man, and uh, Rodgers just looks so pitiful out there, man.
Well, he's
I
old.
mean, he did good. Yeah, but I mean, look, Tom Brady's like 40 something and still
Different, took care of themselves different.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got different body type. They got different molecular bodies. And I like that they wrote the Bills off. Now the Bills making them a liar again.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to see the Bills in the Super Bowl. I'd like to see the Jets in the Super Bowl. I would like to see anybody except for the Chiefs.
Chiefs in San Francisco.
Yes.
They've been there. And everybody's saying Josh Allen didn't win. If McDermott would have been a better coach, they'd have won that 13-second game.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. I coach, youth football.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how he's doing.
We're 1-1 right now. We lost our first game, but we just beat ourselves up, and the coaches were, we beat ourselves up, and it was just a loss. And second game, it was all our defense. Our defense won that game. But I mean, hey, it's
yeah, but the kids are having fun, ain't they?
They're crushing it out there, man.
Well, if they're having fun, why we get to, it's important to teach them winning and losing, but it's also teaching them how to have fun.
Yeah. I tell them, I was like, what you do here will help you at the next level.
Yeah.
This is the starting point. This is where you learn your coordination and.
Well, it's preparing you for your growing up.
Yeah.
The Bills traded that Worthy to the Chiefs, and they're acting like that Worthy's the next best wide receiver. He's going to get thumped on.
Well, look, they also traded Stephon Diggs to
that was
Texas.
the best trade they ever did.
Yeah, he was
nutcase.
Yeah.
Good person. You can't say that, but when you give up $30 million to get rid of somebody, you want them gone bad.
No, yeah. And now Dak Prescott's the highest paid QB right now, and
$60 million.
he hasn't done a thing for the Cowboys. Oh, I got you to the I get you to the first round of the to the playoffs, and then
And
you
you know,
know,
do you think Burrow's done?
he's not the same now as when he first was in the NFL. I like Joe Burrow. I do.
Well, I can't judge Joe Burrow till October. Joe doesn't know he's playing football yet. It takes 1st of October for Joe to come alive.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you're right.
he doesn't have Boyd, Higgins, and Jamar Chase. That people don't realize he had some really good wide receivers.
Yeah, Todd. Yeah, he had Boyd. Yeah, Higgins, Chase.
Yeah.
Uh, Mixon. Oh, he's got Mixon as
No, Mixon went to Texans.
You're right. He did.
And to me, before I put C.J. Stroud and Caleb Williams in the Hall of Fame, they got to play a few more years.
Oh yeah. And what's his name from Bryce Young? Sorry, that. Well, not just Bryce Young, but the whole Panthers. Oh my gosh.
Well, that comes from the owners there.
Yeah.
Now, I got to ask you a question. When C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young were being drafted, didn't they come out with a bunch of bad stuff against C.J. Stroud?
Yeah, they did.
And that's why they baited the Panthers, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, hey, look. I mean, that's what you got to do.
I like C.J. Stroud, but I like them all. I just want them to stay healthy.
What are your guys' thoughts on Troy Aikman possibly coaching the Jets? There were rumors going around about it. Look, I'll say this. As a Jets fan, Robert's, whatever his last name is, Robert Sala, he's on my, he's on my crap list right now. And uh, I gave him a chance last season because Rodgers got hurt, and still had, we still had Wilson, but Wilson was just not the answer. And I honestly think Aaron Rodgers is not the answer.
Aaron played one too many years.
Yeah.
But for me, there's that solely. There's a guy down in the offensive coordinator for the Lions would make a hell of a head coach, but you ain't going to con him out of that job because I don't know how Troy Aikman would be as a coach.
I had heard rumors about that. I don't know. Yeah,
You got to give him a chance.
yeah.
But
Well, when it comes to former players transitioning into coaching, that's where I think take Tom Brady for instance. Do I? He was on. Was it last week? He was in the broadcast booth. Do I think it's a possibility even he could be a coach? I think with somebody like a Troy Aikman or a Tom Brady
I don't
going
think
to coaching, I think your team is going to end up being better with somebody like that, whether it's a legend or recently retired. Mac, you sound like you're in disagreement. Let's talk about it.
I mean, Troy Aikman hasn't touched the field since I don't even know when he retired.
Like
Geez,
in the
that-
60s, wasn't it?
God, that was at the end of 2000, around 2000 somewhere in there, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Troy Aikman is one of the people that can just, sit there, analyze,
Mm-hmm.
and talk about it on ESPN or during the calling out the games with everyone. But I don't see Troy Aikman as a coach.
What about somebody like Tom Brady?
I don't see Tom Brady as a coach.
I think they're too smart for that.
Heck, I don't even see because they rumored it once Brett Favre coming back and coaching for, I think it was like Green Bay or something like that, or the Jets or somebody, but I don't even see Brett Favre as a coach. He's too smart for that.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm going to go back to Tom Brady because we've seen him play mainly for the Patriots and for the Bucks. Now, Tom Brady has gotten to a certain level of or a certain position in the NFL where he had to pretty much call his own shots anyway. So, I mean, wasn't he pretty much like behind the scenes coach to begin with? You know, I mean, if he wanted to change the play, all he had to do is go tell the coach, "Look, I want to do this or that." Dude got to do pretty much whatever he wanted anyway.
But yeah, because he was a shot caller.
Yeah, go lay down.
You know, something about Robert Saleh. I've learned this watching Sean McDermott of the Bills. It takes 6 or 7 years before them coaches start to understand what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
And Saleh's only in his third or fourth year, but and a lot of these coaches' biggest problem is they got way too much ego.
Yeah, I mean, one of
like
the greatest. Yeah, I think we all have. I think everyone in their own mind has a big ego. But one of the greatest coaches of all time is Mike Krzyzewski.
Jim
And,
Harbaugh. I'm sorry.
Even when Mike Krzyzewski came in to coach Duke basketball, his first, I would say, I think it was like his first 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even that great.
Yeah.
And then he had to step out for a season due to some kind of back injury. He comes back and he's still not that great. But, it takes lessons to be learned and learned lessons to be taught to be a great coach.
Yes.
Well, look at Jim Harbaugh. He's coaching the Chargers now.
Yeah.
And it's like when you get but look what he did for Michigan. It's like I don't want to talk about last week's game. The diehard Michigan fan, and it broke my heart. But anyways, now they are struggling without Jim Harbaugh, and it's like I believe that it's not one player that makes a team, because everybody has to come together. However, if you get the right coach, that coach can take a team and take it to new heights. Not saying you're gonna have perfect seasons back to back to back to back, but they're able to improve that team to where it's a legitimate threat. Michigan, I mean, just top tier. I still believe they are top tier, but kind of struggling this season without Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh was there for how long? And now that he's not there, and that's another thing. I think the players also they feel a certain type of way when maybe they're used to a certain coach or something like that. Your morale, the team's morale, is also affected by coaching.
And another thing, when it comes to a team, it ain't always the players that the national media is talking about. It's finding them players off the. It's about understanding the players, because a lot of times the first round draft picks ain't the best players in 2 years.
No.
Yeah. Well, you go back to week 1 of the end of this season. I'm trying to think. I don't think of his last name, Mason, the backup for San Francisco. McCaffrey is the starter. He is the guy that everybody looks at. He's out right now. He's injured. I noticed even watching that game, the broadcasters seemed so surprised with Mason's performance and just how he was able to weave and score and do what he had to do to rack up the yardage. It's like all you need is a chance. It doesn't matter who you are. If you know that you're able to perform at a certain level, you got to be given the chance to be able to prove it. And that's what happened with Mason. He was able to show that he's a legitimate threat. So now I believe when it comes to the 49ers, they can always switch and keep their opponent guessing when, of course, McCaffrey comes back and he's able to compete.
His brother plays for I think the Commanders.
Who, McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver, ain't he?
Yeah. He's pretty deep. Yeah, he's pretty decent. He's pretty decent. He's tall and lanky.
He's got his dad to teach him.
Yeah.
Or shouldn't say teach him, but give him tips.
I mean, if you look at it, I mean, now you got 2 brothers in the NFL, McCaffreys. You got the Diggs with Stephon, and I forget his brother's name. He plays for the Seahawks.
One plays for the Cowboys too. He's a defensive back.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's right. Their cousin plays for the Cowboys, and then there was J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, and I think their younger brother still plays, and I think he plays for I want to say the Steelers.
TJ plays for the Steelers. So.
TJ plays for the Steelers.
Yep.
I forget what the younger brother plays somewhere.
And TJ is really playing for him this year.
I think JJ plays for Detroit, doesn't he?
No, JJ's retired.
Oh, is he?
Because TJ was trying to talk him in one more year with the Steelers, but it never happened.
But JJ said he likes waking up on Monday with no pain.
Yep.
He was on Pat McAfee and he said that.
I should tell you. I tell you somebody who could use coaching. One person that could use coaching. I'm gonna give this dog so much love. Get over here. It pissed me off now. Anyways, the one person that could use coaching from his dad, is Marvin Harrison Jr. Like that kid has potential. I don't know if maybe he's just having an off night or what, but I think that he should really, and granted, I mean, it's going to be it's his rookie year, but he needs to really try to take, whether it's his dad's advice or any advice he can. The kid's got endless amount of potential. He needs to be able to use it. And that's what these young kids, they have to be open-minded and willing to take the advice from those that want to bestow it upon the younger generation. And some of these kids, they get so enthralled and so all about themselves, where it's like, oh well, you're an old timer, I'm young, I'm healthy, I'm this and that, and I'm better, I can do it. It's like, yeah, well, guess what? Experience, age is just a number. Experience is what's going to keep you around a lot longer than your youth or your age.
We'll come back. We're 5 minutes over commercial time, and we have these two commercials we need to run real quick. So everyone, go grab a drink, grab some popcorn, something, and we'll be right back.
Yep.
Imagine freedom, but only it comes with chains that you can't see. Every year in South Carolina, 11,000 are released from prison and carrying the invisible weight of their past and facing a future that's blurred with uncertainty. My brother was one of them. Found Jesus, found hope, and then the world outside tested him, pushed him down a hole so deep that he couldn't climb out. The day he shared his deepest pains to me in a letter was the day that he chose to end his story. Well, his ending sparked my beginning, a mission to make sure that no one walks alone after prison. Jumpstart isn't just a program, it's my promise, our promise to lead faith inside the walls and carry it out into the world. We are here to lift the weight and clear the haze of uncertainty and to stand by those who seek redemption and a new path with Jesus. Join us and be the difference in a story of transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jumpstart.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Oh,
What the hell is wrong with me? I
don't know. You have to answer that for yourself, bro.
You ain't asking yourself the right questions. Here's the thing, something I've really discovered. You can never think and know your way through life. You got to listen to inspiration, question your way, understand the situation, comprehend the situation, unleash the wisdom, and you want to use revelations instead of thoughts, because it takes that thinking, memory, mind out of it. The worst two words in the dictionary is think and know, because you're going to think and know your way to yesterday. Think and know is nothing more than subconscious frozen in time, subconscious mind frozen in time representations. You look at the world on a flat, just take it. We're living today the same way our ancestors did. We got medical and we got computers, but computers are just more silent control. But if you open up to realize questions open the way, you're going to think, know, and talk your way to the outhouse. You're going to listen. Inspiration, listening, and questions are going to chauffeur you to the penthouse. Because if you look at the world, just hypothetically, just look at, well, for the last 4 years, we're worse off than we were in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And see, education and business are the biggest drains on people. Because education is all secondhand information.
I don't like this concept of you need a piece of paper to tell you how good you are, how smart you are. Oh well, if you want this, if you want this job as a high-powered CEO, you need a master's degree. You need this and that. And it's like, again, I don't like to brag, but at the same time, it's like and I'm not proud of this. I have dropped out of high school, twice. But that doesn't take away from my intelligence. I know my value. I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm capable of doing. And look where I'm at now. And it's like you can't judge a book by not even just by its cover, but based on whether it's got that blue ribbon stamp on it of bestseller or whatever. You can't because it's those hidden books, those ones that.
Well, you know,
Oh, go
it
ahead,
could
Mac.
say bestseller,
Mhm.
but the book could just suck.
Yeah.
You know what's the worst thing in a book?
The front page.
No, punctuation. Punctuation is mind manipulation. Because you're trying to know what the author wants you to know and do.
Mhm.
If just try it for 30 days, punctuate your writings and take out change, heal, create, transformation, and forgiveness, and write without it and take all the not words out of there. Because when you write a not word, like don't forget the keys, you might as well throw the keys in the garbage can because you're going to forget them. Because your subconscious mind doesn't read the not word.
Hmm.
But what I was getting at, if you look at the world, our
Right.
CEOs today are no different than the czars of Russia 30, 50, 100 years ago. Because they think they own the populace, the population.
It almost brings me back to the Phoenix Times. Robert, have you heard about the Phoenix Times?
No, but I know about other things. No, I don't.
Well, you know what? We're coming up on that time anyway. Not so much the Phoenix Times, but some other times. So the Phoenix Times, as it was explained to us from a good friend of ours that was unfortunately scared away because Mac had to be an asshole to him.
I
Anyways,
was not an a-hole. I
uh,
was literally telling him that,
that dinosaurs was man's best friend. That's what you.
look, I read an article. Why can't everyone get that through their thick heads? I read a freaking article about dinosaurs being caveman's best friend, and I just shorten it as dinosaurs were once man's friend.
And you didn't even present this article to this gentleman, did you?
I did not, because once I told him that, he stopped texting.
Well, gee, I wonder why.
So I couldn't
Go
even
ahead, Robert.
explain.
Go ahead,
Here's
Robert.
the thing: if you step, we're so socialized, trained, brained, and educated. If you step outside of them lines, people are going to get mad because you took them into a fear zone. It
Well,
activated their fears and limitations.
Well, I think that's kind of what happened. And this whole thing got started because we had him on as a guest on the show, and
wonderful guy.
oh yeah, a great guy. We love him to death. Hope he's doing all right. And he starts talking about the Phoenix Times, and apparently where the Egyptians would use the American flag as a carpet, and we live in the Phoenix Times where I don't know. I want to cry because my brain can't compute everything about it. But anyways, so Mac over here, the infinite genius that he is, brings up about the Gopher Times. Um, and Robert, the Gopher Times it's a legitimate thing. The backstory, I mean, we can get anybody to believe this. So the Gopher Times, you know what we're going to go for times when we have to predict our weather by pulling out the groundhog to determine whether it's 6 more weeks of winter or it's still spring.
Who was related to the gopher?
Yeah. And it's like, that makes more sense than the Phoenix Times of yesteryear where pharaohs and Egyptians are sitting on an American flag, and upside down is upright, and backwards is forwards, and you know your shit is worth millions of dollars because it's gold. I don't know. So we have taken the Gopher Times and we have just completely ran with it. And Mac, we have been neglecting to, when we have guests on the show, to get their views on whether or not they believe in the Gopher Times.
Well, I like to share the Gopher Times when the Gopher Times is around.
Which we got to start advertising. Is coming up soon.
Yes.
Something I've done for myself. I don't care what happened back there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely don't care.
Right.
All I care about is what's right here. This is where I live and expand my life. And see, we keep going back into them times. Them times become our life today. Our subconscious mind is ancestor programming. And to rise out of that, you rise out of your past right here. And you got a past, you got a timeline. But what I really have discovered is when you go into frustration
Mm-hmm.
and you go into a past memory,
Mm-hmm.
well, that past memory was agitated in your present moment.
You know, Robert, you said something that caught my attention. It gave me a revelation, so to speak, and I'm going to run with it because earlier on in the show we talked about racism. Now we're talking about our subconscious living in the past and times like that. And this whole racism thing, it could all end if we're not so focused in what happened to our ancestors and because the one thing even at my wife's job, I've heard stories where black woman doesn't want to work, do their job or whatever. Boss says, look, what are you doing? You got to work. You got to do this or that. Oh, well, you're only making me do this because I'm black. And it's like, no, we're telling you to do it because it's your job. And it's like, don't live back in the, what was it, like 40s or 50s. You are in present day where race doesn't matter to anybody. We don't care what color you are. We don't care. If you got the minds, if you got the skill set to do a required job, and you're a good person, we're not going to judge you based on the color of your skin or where you come from. If you are a good person, or even your family or your past history, if you are a good person, you present yourself as a good person, and you prove yourself to be. We who are we to judge that?
Racism is playing the victim.
Yeah.
When people do that, they're a victim of their own thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And racism is not in a country.
It's universal.
It's inside people.
Mm-hmm.
It's in their subconscious representations. And the only one that can have racism in my life is me.
Yeah.
And and if you think you go back, well, we've never risen out of the Civil War. I mean, let's just be honest. We still live the Civil War today.
Oh yeah.
And see, and what the thing is people are using it to try to get ahead in the world. They could give, something a lot of people don't understand. You can give everybody in the world $10 million today. Mm-hmm. Everybody. Within 5 years, the people who have the money today would have it all back.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand the energy of money.
They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
No, it's the energy of it. Money has an energy. And money And you know where your money really is? It's in your wisdom, insight, clarity, innovation. That's your real wealth. Because nobody can take that. Money is a material chattel. Am I got any? No, but I'm okay with it. And the less I have, the more I have.
Yeah.
I did
I
a
would.
The less
pod-
money you have, the less you have to worry about. But the more insight you have
yeah.
is
And see,
more richer than anything.
and you know, everybody got caught up in this material thing where we have to do things, and I got to have this. Competition, being in competition with your neighbor, I want more than you, is probably the biggest failure in the world. And something I'm going to share from my life is my parents weren't wealthy, and we was probably one of the more poorer families around. But it changed all around. But the thing that I got caught up into is wanting to have what everybody else had. And now I don't have, the less I have, unless less material chattels I have, material stuff, the wealthier I am.
I often sit here and I think to myself that we as just a generation, and not just a generation, no, we as a people, we have to, or we should be, we should take the time and really be grateful for the things that we have, because whether it's materialistic, whether it's just other people that make our life better, whatever the circumstance, those are things that we're not entitled to. We're not, uh, it's not something that you know we did on our own. Those things were put into our lives and given to us for a specific reason. And today is just so full of, oh well, I'm this so far ahead in life because I did this and I did that, and well, I associate with these people because they're of my caliber. And it's like we need to come back to humility, humbleness and humility, where we need to start taking even our breath for not for granted, because it's something that take a suffocation, for instance. Some personal experience. I was eating chicken one day, sitting at a restaurant with my wife, and choked on a chicken, a piece of chicken, and could not breathe. And my wife saved me. And it's like, now when I have that deep breath, it's like I don't take that for granted. I don't take walking for granted, because at the end of the day, something that happens, it could all be taken away. Whereas you get people out there just willy nilly thinking, oh well, I deserve this, I deserve that. No, humble yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because there are people out there, number one, less fortunate. There are people out there that have suffered mentally, uh, physically, spiritually, whatever you want to call it. They don't have those same privileges as y'all do. So just be kinder and be more understanding and be more humble, because you could end up even less fortunate than what you have now.
But the thing is,
Mhm.
something I just expand. You're enlightened right where you're at.
Mhm.
All you got to do is get rid of that male ego noise.
Yep.
And if anybody needs some, I got some to give away.
Hmm.
But and it's the inner dialogue that we have, but we try to do it in our head.
Mhm.
But if you really pay attention, it comes from the gut, and you got to pay attention. Mine's a con artist. My inner dialogue's a con artist.
Hmm.
It'll con you into everything you say you don't want to do.
Hmm.
It'll con you into it every time, unless you should tell it no.
Yeah.
When you can tell that con artist inside you, that inner dialogue, no, you can tell the world no. But until you can tell that little con artist,
Mhm.
I just call him my con artist. That way I know what he's doing, what it's doing. And something else, when people want to break a habit, want to rise out of a habit, when you
Mhm.
start doing just little things, and it starts going away, every time you make a little step, the words are, that was easy. That was easy.
Mhm.
Pretty soon, because we've been taught life is hard and you listen to self help, everything is hard. That's a lie. But if I want to keep people ingrained and coming back to me, I'm going to tell them it's hard. And I got out of all programming because any program has the author's limitations, viewpoints on how the world should be, their knowledge. It has nothing to do with my dreams.
Mhm.
That's why I write my stuff unpunctuated.
Well, you gotta by allowing the reader to not think or not get into the mindset of the author. It's a unique. It's something I have never I have Robert I have never heard of anybody else doing books or writing or anything like that the way you do, to completely take out the punctuation and not control the minds of the readers.
Well, see, we've been taught that from school
Mhm.
because when we read a book, you had to remember it for a test, and they
Mhm.
taught it. And if you look at education and get at it real close,
Mhm.
education teaches us from the past, and education teaches negativity.
Yep.
And all the stuff that they teach us in those books are lies.
Well, I call it, and yes, it is. I mean, and what people don't understand, education is all secondhand information. I
Yeah.
call it indoctrinated medication, but yeah, it's a lie. If I want to control your lives, right? I'm going
Mhm.
to educate you with my philosophies. And that's just what they did.
Mhm.
Now, I got a question for both of you.
All
Yep.
right.
When you're out and about and you're trying to talk to somebody that's got one of them hang on the wall or in the file cabinet degrees,
Mhm.
do you feel like there's a barrier between you?
Yes. Speaking from experience, uh, yes, absolutely. I'm talking to a gentleman who's is a sports, I guess, a doctor of some sort. Was doing sports coordinator at the local high school or college over here, and I talked to him one day, and we got into the discussion of I think it was like football, and I made the comment about Michigan being blue and yellow. I'm from Michigan. I diehard Michigan. I think I know the colors, and he corrected me and says, "Well, technically, it's navy." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah," And it's like I've always had a disdain for people who correct me. I don't like that. I don't think I did anything that was disrespectful to him. For him to just come over and kind of flaunt his, I guess, intelligence or whatever it is, don't do that.
That,
Don't.
that that's what you call know-it-all ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Or a know-it-all asshole.
Same thing. I like
Yeah.
yours better than mine.
Or if
Yeah,
it's like if you want the intelligent version, you get what Robert tells you. If you want the broke down country
Yeah,
redneck version,
Mac, you just brought up this world. I said this on my podcast. I says the world is too cheap and ignorant to move forward.
Yeah.
But if I want to control you guys, I'm going to educate you with my philosophies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the world, and this is something I speak a lot about, the world is too educated and too stuck in a third world enslaving mindset to move forward. And business and education got the world going this way. Because I'll take the 60s back in a heartbeat. I was there.
So was my parents.
Yeah.
And something else I want to ask, you go back to 90 before the free trade agreements, look at the world, look at the country. Now look at what free trade did to us. That southern border's free trade.
No.
You mean okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean we were doing something about that, but unfortunately the lovely people of the United States decided that they didn't want that there, and they voted.
It ain't the people in the United States. There's some people way up there doing this.
Yeah, it's. I feel like we could go on for hours and hours, but unfortunately, Robert, we don't mean to cut this short. We have hit.
Oh well, it's time to go. But I call them the fascist felons of the world.
Fascist felons. Robert, I love your vocabulary. It's interesting to say the least.
The quality of words you speak is the quality of life you live.
Huh.
You learn a new word every month or every week.
Mm-hmm.
You get more courageous, and then you can baffle them with bullshit. Because they're already trying to bullshit you, so might as well be a better bullshitter than they are.
Can't bullshit a bullshitter.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah,
We've been being bullshitted on since.
Day one.
I'm a union member. If you want to see some really interesting things, you should see some of these union people.
Well, wait, if you bullshitted bullshitter and that makes you a bullshitter, then you're both bullshitters.
Everybody's a bullshitter. I don't care, in a way.
And if you can BS a BSer, can you con a con artist?
Oh,
because they're smart, them suckers. But the marketing and a lot of the business school coaches and stuff, that's a con.
Huh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up, and
you want to see people being conned to union people. They're for that, the brand X in this election. And if brand X wins this election, just look at California. That's coming nationwide. Well, anyway, I'm going to let you gentlemen go. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Robert, for joining us. And
this is fun. I love our conversations. As soon as we go to jail, we'll be okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from our jail cell.
I forgot to. I forgot to tell Robert. Welcome to our new segment. Let's talk about it.
But anyway, I tell all my family. I said, now when they come and get me for what I've been writing, I like M&M peanuts once in a while.
Well, Robert,
we'll fly out and do a show every month.
Like I told my brother, I said I'd rather die with a bullet in the head than living in a jail cell, because a lot of people are in prison in a free world and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be here all night. I'll say goodbye. Thank you, guys. I enjoyed this.
Well, thank you, Robert, for jumping in and spending the hour with us. We appreciate
and
it.
always talking about it. So,
Oh yeah.
everyone, thanks for joining tonight. Robert, you're always fun to have on, and we'll have you back soon, and we can talk about it some more.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Take care.
All
Yeah,
right,
you as well, Robert. Thank you.
have a good night.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna talk off air. I don't know. I don't know who's watching.
Do you want to go? Do you want to do yours first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first because I'm still trying to find mine.
I'll shorten it up here. Wait, we have a comment. Who is this?
Oh, do we? Oh, thanks, Robert, for your. Oh, hold on.
JK, it's not.
JK, it's not Jalen. Thanks, Robert, for your words of wisdom.
Thanks. Yeah.
JK, it's not Jalen. If it's not Jalen, then
Yeah. Anyways,
it's a mystery. Anyways, do you wanna hit the scripture first? Would you
yeah.
like me?
So I'll just shorten it up. You can look fear in the eyes and overcome it by faith. There you go.
All right. So my scripture is from the Book of Mormon, and yes, I know I don't want to hear any shit from any of you people who are gonna bash on my religion. Listen, you people. I don't come to your houses and I don't bash you for your religious beliefs. Okay. This scripture I'm telling you, it'll sink in. Mac, bear with me here. So Robert said some things tonight that made me think of this. For the natural man is an enemy to God, and has been from the fall of Adam, and will be forever and ever, unless he unless he yields to the enticings of the Holy Spirit, and putteth off the natural man, and becometh a saint through the atonement of Jesus of Christ the Lord, and becometh as a child, submissive, meek, humble, patient, full of love, willing to submit to all things which the Lord seeth fit to inflict upon him, even as a child doth submit to his father. And I say that in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Dude, after we go off air, we have to talk, dude, because I've never felt like the Joker in my life until tonight.
I was ready to paint my face, bro.
Yeah, I'm about ready to do the scar and everything. I was going full on Joker. That's why you see me kind of cry, but laugh at the same time, and I didn't know what to do. Anyways, folks, before I start to cry again, we love y'all. Stay safe. Be good. Until next time. If it ain't sweet, it's not tasty. Come on. Too sweet your asses on out of here. And don't bother us until next week.
If you want to bother us, just
sure.
Love you guys. See you next Friday.
Come on.
Wait. One more thing. I forgot to say this. Hit my music.
Loaded.